Do you ever wonder how much mortgage you can afford with the current income that you're making? I'm going to teach you a quick and easy way to figure that out. Let's calculate. Hello everyone, this is Raghu with 401 team at Royal LePage Ignite. Please subscribe to our video and hit the thumbs up. If you have any topics that you want us to discuss about real estate, please leave us a comment and we'll definitely get back to you and we'll try to do a video on that. Without further ado, let's get started. Today, before I tell you how to calculate how much mortgage you can afford. This is assuming that you have a stellar credit, a decent credit at least, and you're trying to get into the housing market. How does it work? How much mortgage you can afford? Because there's so many calculators out there and sometimes it can be just confusing. And before I get started, just to let you know, mortgage is not something that depends on one variable. It depends on many variables, but we're going to talk about the qualification process in terms of the ratios, right? The threshold that the banks really look at when you go to apply for a mortgage. Now, without further ado, let's get started on the ratios. So today I'm going to talk about two ratios, one of them being the GDS ratio or the gross debt service ratio. The gross debt service ratio includes your housing cost. So what does that mean? It includes your mortgage, which is the principal plus interest. It also includes your property tax. It includes your heat and 50% of the condo fee if it happens to be a condo. If it's a freehold, then that doesn't apply to you. And to keep things simple, we're gonna try to use freehold property today and not a condo. Now, the second ratio that we're looking at is the TDS ratio or the total debt service ratio. The total debt service ratio includes your housing cost plus all your other monthly obligations in terms of car payments, credit card payments, line of credit, etc., right? Or student loan. So it includes that as well. So basically, the GDS ratio, the maximum threshold for it is 39% of your gross income. So pre-tax gross income, 39%. And the TDS ratio is about 44% of your gross pre-tax income, right? So using the 39% pre-tax income, what we did is pretty much we found out how much it would cost us in terms of $100,000 mortgage, right? With the stress test in place, let's say that we were to qualify you at 5.15%, $100,000 of mortgage would cost you about $600 qualifying money. So that means that, out of the 39%, if you take $600, that would, mortgage you for or give you a mortgage for $100,000. Now let's keep this magic number aside, $600. You're making, let's say, for example, $100,000. The threshold is 39% for the GDS, the housing cost, which translates to about $39,000 per year or about $3,250 a month, right? So $3,250 a month, you are allowed to allocate for heat, property tax, mortgage, principal and interest, and then also 50% of your condo, right? So let's say out of that $3,250, we're going to take off heat, which is pretty much standard for freehold properties, $120. Sometimes I've seen lenders use $100, but let's use $120. And then for property tax, hypothetically, let's say you're paying $350 a month for property tax. So after removing that from the equation, or from $3,250, we have $2,780, right? So that's your monthly allocation for mortgage, right? So let's say we take that number and we divide it by $600 to find out how much mortgage you can afford. Because remember, the qualifying cost for a $100,000 mortgage is $600. So now that you know how much mortgage, how much money is allocated towards housing per month for you, depending on your gross income or your household income, now we're going to divide that and we get about 4.6333. Times that by 100,000 and you get $463,000 mortgage that you can afford with $100,000 income, right? Okay, now that we're done the GDS calculation, there's one more ratio, and then that's the TDS calculation, which says pretty much 44% of your gross income, right, can be attributed towards your housing cost plus all other obligations and monthly debts, right? So to keep it simple, what we're going to do is we know that the GDS ratio is 39% and the TDS ratio is 44%. So realistically looking at it, the lenders are only allowing 5% of your gross pre-tax income to service your debts on a monthly basis. So if you take $100,000, you times it by 5%, you get $5,000, right? You divide that by 12 because you want to know how much you can service in terms of every month. You get about $416 a month. So $416 a month can be serviced towards debt every month. Now, if you go above that, then you're in trouble because remember, we're talking about the threshold here. To summarize everything, the GDS, which is the housing cost, very easy. You take your gross income, you times it by 39%, you'll get $39,000. You divide that by 12 to get your monthly allocation. Then out of that, automatically you remove $120, which is for heat, because everybody's got to pay heat. You remove the property tax, average it out, you know, the region that you're looking at or the house that you're looking at, what the property tax is on a monthly basis. And then you also remove 50% of your condo fee if you have condo fee. If you don't, forget about it. In this example, we didn't use a condo fee, so you don't need to remove that. And then you know the amount that you can allocate towards mortgage only per month, right? So that's simple. Second, we want to know how much we can allocate towards servicing our debts or our monthly obligations. And that comes out to $100,000 times 5%, because 5% is the threshold, and then we can see maximum how much we can put towards our debts, which works out to, on a monthly basis, yearly basis, $5,000. You divide that by 12 and it's about $416 per month. So there you have it. That's how you calculate the monthly mortgage that you can afford, as well as your debt obligations. If you have any further questions, feel free to call us. The number is right here. And also, if you want to be hooked up with a local mortgage agent or a broker to shop around for a rate, give us a call and we'll connect you with one of them that we work with. Thank you so much. Again, this is Raghu Rajaguru with 401 team at Royal LePage Ignite. Thank you so much.